The Flying Inn by G.K. Chesterton. A Sermon on Inns. The sea was a pale elfin green, and the afternoon had already felt the fairy touch of evening, as a young woman with dark hair, dressed in a crinkly copper-coloured sort of dress of the artistic order, was walking rather listlessly along the parade at Pemberwick-on-Sea, trailing a parasol and looking out upon the sea's horizon. She had a reason for looking instinctively out at the sea line, a reason that many young women have had in the history of the world, but there was no sail in sight. On the beach below, the parade was a succession of small crowds, surrounding the usual orators of the seaside, whether niggers or socialists, whether clowns or clergymen. Here would stand a man doing something or other with paper boxes, and the holiday makers would watch him for hours in the hope of sometime knowing what it was that he was doing for them. Next to him would be a man in a top hat with a very big Bible and a very small wife, who stood silently beside him while he fought with his clenched fist against the heresy of Milnian sublacerianism, so widespread in the fashionable watering places. It was not easy to follow him. He was so very much excited, but every now and then the words "our sublapsarian friends" would recur with a kind of a wailing sneer. Next was a young man talking of nobody knew what, least of all himself, but apparently relying for public favour mainly on having a ring of carrots around his hat. He had more money lying in front of him than the others. Next were niggers. Next was a children's service conducted by a man with a long neck who beat time with a little wooden spoon. Further along there was an atheist, in a towering rage, who pointed every now and then at the children's service and spoke of nature's fairest things being corrupted with the secrets of the Spanish Inquisition, by the man with the little spade, of course. The atheist, who wore a red rosette, was very withering to his own audience as well. Hypocrites, he would say. And then they would throw him money. Dupes and dastards. And then they would throw him more money. But between the atheist and the children's service was a little owlish man in a red fez, weakly waving a green gamp umbrella. His face was brown and wrinkled like a walnut. His nose was of a sort we associate with Judea. His beard the sort of black wedge we associate rather with Peru. The young woman had never seen him before. He was in...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?